Well, with me now in studio is freelance correspondent Cristobal Vasquez. He's been looking into this election and the way the United States sees this. And I think it's fair to say, Cristobal, the White House is watching this election pretty closely. What has the Trump administration been saying?
Very closely, and there seems to be intervention, U.S. intervention in this election. In fact, 11 congressmen, including Chuy Garcia, sent a letter to Marco Rubio, Todd Blanche, and Scott Bessent, expressing concern over this U.S. intervention and saying that Trump was somehow trying to move that needle of the popular support in Colombia by endorsing openly right-wing candidate Abelardo de la Espriella in his Truth Social account. Now, saying that Abelardo de la Espriella was a young, successful candidate that would crack down on drugs, on crime, and on immigration, which is, of course, something that connects both countries.
De la Espriella, he has some interesting personal connections as well to the U.S., doesn't he?
He does. He was just recently, he got his U.S. citizenship. He pledged honor to the U.S. flag. He has been registered as a Republican, so he's a Republican Party affiliate, and he's also he also said publicly that he voted for Donald Trump. In fact, in one of those interviews in those local TV stations in Colombia, he said that he was perhaps the first Republican to be perhaps the president in Colombia. So there are strong ties within the U.S. administration and De la Espriella, the right-wing candidate.
And then on the other side of this election, we have Ivan Cepeda, the left-wing candidate. What's his stance, his relationship with the U.S. and his stance on U.S. policy?
So despite focusing a lot on local politics, Ivan Cepeda, the left-wing candidate, has been in the past quite vocal against U.S. policies and intervention policies in Colombia. He has criticized over and over the fact that despite the U.S. investing thousands of dollars in arms and in security in Colombia, the drug crops have increased and have double-folded over the years, and the coca plantations have skyrocketed to record levels year after year. So he questions that. He questions how, despite the Plan Colombia, which is an alliance that the U.S. and Colombia have, the results over limiting the amount of coca production and coca crops have not been the best.
Yeah, drug trafficking, security going to be a big part in the way that people vote in that election, of course, on Sunday. What would a win for De la Espriella, the right-wing candidate, on Sunday mean, do you think, when it comes to the broader influence of the Trump administration across Latin America?
Well, De la Espriella has said that he's going to build at least 10 mega prisons in Colombia, not only to have drug dealers there, but perhaps potentially migrants from other parts of the continent. But in terms of the continent, it goes along the trend, that right-wing trend that you see in Argentina with Milei, that you see in Paraguay, that you see with Novoa in Ecuador, perhaps in Peru. And then it would create sort of this axis of right-wing presidents in Latin America that are of course very aligned with Trump's policies.
Yeah, a crucial election there in Colombia, and one that the White House, President Trump, will be watching closely come tomorrow. Freelance correspondent Cristobal Vasquez, thank you.
Thank you.